Let's back up a little bit and think about the big picture. We are developing TFL because we want to evaluate the quality of arguments expressed in English. And so in order to do that, we somehow need to establish a relationship between English sentences and TFL sentences. And that's why we are now going to talk about how we can symbolize English sentences in TFL. And we are going to proceed in 2 steps and first talk about some general rules for how to symbolize English sentences in TFL, and then move on and discuss a few special cases that may be confusing at first. What do we care about when we symbolize English sentences in TFL? What we really care about is to preserve the truth conditions of our original sentence. What that means is that a TFL sentence symbolizes a given English sentence if and only if the 2 sentences, meaning the English sentence and the TFL sentence, have the same truth conditions. And furthermore, 2 different TFL sentences may count as equally good symbolizations of a given English sentence if they have the same truth conditions. So let's talk about the symbolization of specific sentences. An English sentence can be symbolized as not a if and only if it can be paraphrased in English as it is not the case that blank. So for example, consider the English sentence, "Co is not a dog." We can paraphrase this sentence as it is not the case that Co is a dog. And then we can symbolize it as not a. Here the capital letter A represents the sentence Co is a dog, and the negation symbol symbolizes the prefix it is not the case that. A sentence can be symbolized as A conjunction B if and only if it can be paraphrased in English as both blank and blank, or as blank but blank, or as although blank, blank. So for example, think about the English sentence, "Co is a gray cat." We can paraphrase this sentence as saying, Co is a cat and Co is gray, and then we can symbolize it as A conjunction B. In this case, the capital letter A represents the English sentence, Co is a cat, and the capital letter B represents the English sentence, Co is gray, and the conjunction symbol represents the English word and. A sentence can be symbolized as A disjunction B if it can be paraphrased in English as either blank or blank. So, for example, we can paraphrase the English sentence, Co as is a cat or a dog, in English as either Co is a cat or Co is a dog. And then we can symbolize it as A disjunction B. In this case, the capital letter A represents the English sentence, Co is a cat, and the capital letter B represents the English sentence, Co is a dog, and the disjunction symbol represents either or. A sentence can be symbolized as A arrow B if it can be paraphrased in English as if blank, then blank, or as blank only if blank. So for example, take the English sentence, if today is Monday, then it is the beginning of the week. This sentence can be symbolized as A arrow B. And here the capital letter A represents the English sentence "Today is Monday." The capital letter B represents the English sentence "It is the beginning of the week." And the arrow represents "if then." Now, similarly, the English sentence "It is the beginning of the week only if today is Monday" can be symbolized as B arrow A. And in this case, the capital letter B represents the English sentence "It is the beginning of the week," and the capital letter A represents the English sentence "Today is Monday," and the arrow represents only if. Finally, a sentence can be symbolized as A by conditional B if it can be paraphrased in English as blank if and only if blank. And just as a quick side remark, we often abbreviate the 4 words if and only if as if, spelled with 2F. That's not a typo. So for example, the sentence "Joe Biden is the 46th US president if and only if Kamala Harris is the 49th US vice president" can be symbolized as A by conditional B. So now that we know how to symbolize the various connectives, let's think about how we can proceed step by step to produce a symbolization of an English sentence in TFL. The first step in this process usually is to paraphrase our initial English sentence. We paraphrase it in order to make its truth conditions transparent. In the second step, we identify the atomic sentences that appear in our English sentence. Atomic sentences are the smallest units of language that can be evaluated for truth or falsity. So for example, the sentence "Co is a cat" is an atomic sentence, and so is the sentence "Today is Monday" or the sentence "Rita and Rick are siblings." In all of these cases, we can't really take anything away from the sentence and still retain something that can be evaluated for truth or falsity. So for example, "co is" can't be evaluated for truth or falsity. The word "today" can't be evaluated for truth or falsity. So atomic sentences are the smallest units of language that can be evaluated for truth or falsity. Now, once we have identified the atomic sentences, we need to introduce a symbolization key. The symbolization key tells us which capital letter is going to represent which atomic sentence. In the fourth step, we then identify the relevant Boolean connectives that connect our atomic sentences, and then we put it all together to produce the symbolization of our given English sentence. Let's look at a few examples to see how this works.